Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Rubio Torrio. I'm the Executive Director of Voces Latinas. Voces Latinas was born in 2003 with the mission to reduce HIV and violence among immigrant Latinas. We were born because we saw and we heard from women living with HIV that they weren't getting or receiving services that in their languages and that were culturally sensitive and culturally responsive to their needs. So from the forums and workshops that we were providing to women, Voces Latinas was finally born. As a women's organization, Voces Latinas train promotoras. Promotoras is a training program, it's like a peer program, but with a culturally specific lens. We trained the very same women that were living with HIV or experienced or survivors of violence to be the peers that would go out in the community and access other women experiencing similar situations. And they were the promotoras of Voces Latinas and would go out to the different venues in the community to promote services and give out flyers so that women could know where to access services and help. So as women were visiting the different venues included bars, restaurants, different business restaurants and delis around here on Roosevelt Avenue, they identified this group of meseras, this group of women that were working in the bars and clubs and restaurants. The women were waitresses, but at a certain hour of the night, these waitresses would change kind of their work duties and be more catering to male patrons, serving them beer, dancing, and kind of just accompanying them during their evening while drinking with the patrons. So we set out to highlight this population. We set out to talk a little bit more about them, inform people at forums, at meetings, at different events that these group of women, these group of Latinas existed. In meeting with our transgender allies, in particular the late Lorena Borjas, who was very familiar with the venues on Roosevelt Avenue, being that the transgender groups have been doing outreach, real effective outreach for many, many years. She and I met, and through her and her relationships with the managers in these bars, she literally took me to meet each of the managers, each of the security guards at the bars, and made a great introduction so that I could be trusted and the organization could be trusted in going in and accessing this group of women. So this raised a bit of concern for us. Being an HIV prevention agency, we know that drinking alcohol or doing any kind of drugs can alter decision making. And so knowing and learning that this group of women were doing this, were drinking with the male patrons as a form of also making tips and making a living out of a need to survive, really concerned us. So we wanted to learn more. We wanted to know a little bit more about where this is happening, how we can reach them, what kind of services they needed. And so this is when we decided to include meseras into all of our outreach. So through this Mesera campaign, we really hope to highlight and bring the Mesera voices to light. We want to make sure that their stories, their circumstances and situations are thought about in future campaigns and in future programming and services. So for all the Meseras, we want to make sure that you know Voces Latinas is here to make sure that your voices are included.